Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Michael Clarke.
Oh, gee, what a battle that is.
Something about MS Dhoni and World Cups.
Dhoni's ahead because of the number of wins he's got in one-day cricket.
Two captains with contrasting styles. One a master tactician, the other a clinical leader.
You can't beat Dhoni, and I think even Michael Clarke would admit.
My goal is to try and help Australia win this World Cup.
On Thursday, Sydney Cricket Ground will witness a battle between two of the finest captains in world cricket today.
He will go after Dhoni, definitely.
He stands up, so that's Dhoni for you.
Like our experts put it, Dhoni clearly has the experience, winning 100 matches, but Clarke is better with the win percentage. The second semi-final will be a test like never before for both skippers. Both champions in their own right, but only one can come out on top.
Welcome everyone to our mega build-up to the revenge match for India. The final before the final, the mega semi-final between India and Australia in Sydney on Thursday. Who will come out on top? That's the big question, really. Wednesday evening. Joining me this evening, former India captain Saurav Ganguly from Sydney with our consulting editor Boria Majumdar. 2011 World Cup winning Indian player Harbhajan Singh will join us soon. Two-time World Cup champion Australian Andrew Symonds in our studios, and also former Indian cricketer Nikhil Chopra. The big match that we are looking forward to, India versus Australia at Sydney. I know I said India versus Australia because this could well be a home game for India. Then Australia at Sydney. That starts at 9 AM Indian Standard Time, and we can barely control our excitement before that big one. Team India on a high in this World Cup. They won all 7 matches played so far. This is a much better side than what the Australians managed to beat in earlier in the summer down under. The cherry on the cake, of course, being that the Indian team does not seem to have any apparent weaknesses, while the Australians are still struggling to find a full-time spinner.
India face the biggest test of the World Cup as Dhoni's men take on Australia in the second semi-final. And India look good to upset Australia's apple cart in their own backyard. The reason is simple: India's form in the tournament has been simply superb. The team has won 7 matches on the trot, which shows that the team has momentum. India has even beaten tough teams like South Africa and Pakistan. No wonder India looks good to beat Australia also. So whatever the experts say, the momentum is with India in the second semi-final.
It doesn't matter to us because if you look at the tournament, we've taken 70 wickets in 7 games. And it has been distributed by the spinners and the fast bowlers. So it doesn't matter how the wicket behaves.
I think the SCG in general is a really good wicket. I think it's normally even for both batting and bowling. So I think the fast bowlers will hopefully get a little bit of swing and a little bit of bounce out of that wicket. Then, as always, I think spin will play a part at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Do you guys as the Indian team believe you can get under the skin of Dave Warner and Shane Watson?
See, as a team, I believe we need to stick to our game plans, which is coming hard. And if there are a little bit of banters going around, so be it. You know, there will be times where you will see our bowlers, fielders getting right on their faces. So yeah, there will be times. But you know, as a team, we have to stick to our game plans and try and execute what we've been doing for the last 7 games.
David Warner risks getting suspended for the final if he's reprimanded by the match referee. Glenn Maxwell was saying the other day that David's not talking quite as much on the field. Have you noticed that? And has there been a sort of concerted effort to make sure he doesn't get rubbed out for a knockout game?
I haven't noticed one difference in Davey.
Is it a concern at all? Or?
Davey will be fine. He knows the rules.
So much in the build-up to this match. Fans, stadium, pitch, sledging. We'll talk all about that. But let me first go across to Sydney. Boria and Saurav, are you feeling it? Are you know, is there that tingling feeling before this match? The same way that we are feeling it here, Saurav?
We are only feeling Andrew Symonds at the moment, his Tamil language and what all he's saying at the headline studio. Headlines Today studio. But it's great to have Andrew Symonds and once again join the show with Andrew Symonds. Yes, we are just getting ready for it. It's late in the night in Sydney. It's going to be a different atmosphere tomorrow morning. And we are ready to challenge the big Simo, not in the dressing room, but also on the field as well.
You know what, it's 1 a.m. here, Shivani, and I was walking to Saurav's hotel to do this program. And all I was seeing in central Sydney CBD in all of the pubs that are still open are Indian faces. Even in this hotel, people checking in at this point in time, all are Indian. If you go down to the bar at this point in time and see the faces, all are Indian. It's incredible. There will be huge Indian presence at the Sydney Cricket Ground tomorrow. And Sydney is almost like a volcano waiting to erupt for this match. It's a super spectacle waiting to happen.
So Andrew might have taken over our studios, but Andrew, Indians have taken over Sydney.
Sounds like it, yeah. Yeah, well, the build-up, it'd be terrific to be in Australia, and we're not, myself and Nickel probably aren't very far off.
Don't count me out. Yeah. I should be there too.
Just need my wingman. But, yeah, I mean, it'll be amazing to see how many Indians actually turn up there tomorrow. I'm expecting 70 Indians.
Yeah, that's been actually the case so far in all matches.
Yeah, but it'll be fascinating to see what sort of a atmosphere it creates for the Australian players and whether the Indian players can use that crowd advantage to their advantage.
The Australians will just have to ignore the surround sound, isn't it? Because this one is not going in their favour.
No, I mean, and I think they ban the musical instruments and that these days in
the doors.
Yeah, in the grounds. Otherwise, it would have been deafening. We would have heard them from here.
Well, Saurav, in all of your playing career and now commentating for so long, is there any other match you remember which had a bigger build-up or more excitement than this one? India-Australia in the semi-final of the 2015 World Cup?
Yeah, Shivani, I think so. Remember India-Pakistan in Mohali 4 years ago. India-Sri Lanka in the World Cup final in Mumbai. And every time India plays those big championship games, the build-up is as huge. I don't see any respite for someone like us, for someone like you, Boria, Simo, and different experts all around the country. Even the T20 final last year when India were playing them in Bangladesh with Sri Lanka, that build-up was huge. Cricket is a mad game in our country, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I don't see it reducing in the future as well.
We opened this show, Saurav, with Dhoni versus Clarke. That's really the first thing you notice when you talk about this clash. Dhoni with his Midas touch, 100 ODI wins. Clarke just coming back into the side. At one point, people questioned his place as well. And he hasn't had a good run with the bat. Not as good as, by his own standards. This one battle, India has hands down, isn't it?
Yeah, I think in one-day cricket, Dhoni's record is far superior than Michael Clarke, especially in big tournaments. But saying that Michael Clarke hasn't captained Australia before in World Cup, this is his first World Cup as captain of Australia. So it'll be pretty unfair to compare both of them. Michael Clarke's record in one-day cricket is very good. I don't know, they talk about pressure of him in this Australian one-day side. He averages almost 45 in one-day cricket. And tomorrow in Sydney, if the ball spins, he's the best player of spin, and I think Simo will agree to that. At 4, Michael Clarke has been a bit of an injury problem this season. He had a big surgery on his hamstring, so he's been in and out of the series. But in this side, Michael Clarke is as good as gold. In terms of Test cricket, Michael Clarke is way ahead. But in terms of one-day cricket, I think he's got some catch-up to do. Probably a catch-up which he will never be able to do that with MS Dhoni, because MS Dhoni's record and experience as captain in one-day cricket is ahead of not just Michael Clarke, but a lot of captains in world cricket.
Absolutely. 3 ICC.
If you permit me?
Boria, come again?
I said, can I add to that? Can I add to what Saurav was saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Michael Clarke has also got this Australian team to the #1 one-day ranking. So when we say Mahendra Singh Dhoni is miles ahead, we've got to also sort of keep in mind that this Australian team is now the #1 ranked ODI team in the world under Michael Clarke. He's not had a World Cup before
I mean in terms of experience, and especially big match experience. He's won a title, and Dhoni doesn't let a lot of good opportunities go when it comes to big titles.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Michael Clarke has not captained Australia in a World Cup before. Under him, they've won major tournaments, they've won big series, and it is a close one. I mean, to say that Mahendra Singh Dhoni sort of beats Michael Clarke with a knockout punch in captaincy will perhaps be a tad unfair on Michael Clarke.
Okay, let me go across to Nasser Hussain as well, whom we spoke to earlier. We posed this question to him. Dhoni versus Clarke. Who's the better strategist and better captain?
Yeah, two fine captains, you know, McCullum, the other one that's gone through, so three of the best captains in world cricket at the moment. Dhoni, very chilled, very relaxed, has his plans, he has his go-to people, he knows what he's doing, he's very sort of stubborn and set in his ways, his legs slip, he'll always have him there for Jadeja and Ashwin, he knows what he's doing. Clarke slightly different, slightly more like McCullum, slightly more of a gambler. He will suddenly change. The night before they'll have meetings, but in a match, Clarke will see something and immediately change. He might bowl himself for a few, he might do something different. He's a bit more attacking. Dhoni likes to sit in and soak up pressure. Dhoni brilliant at soaking up pressure, one of the best captains I've seen. All the pressures he's under, just to say, whoa, I'm MS Dhoni, I've been here before, I know how to handle this.
Andrew, handling nerves is going to be very, very crucial, and it all flows from the captain. Sometimes we saw the other day, AB de Villiers in the semi-final was looking flustered. You know, he was over-fielding. He was, you know, not looking very comfortable with the occasion. Who do you think has that better, you know, between Dhoni and Clarke?
Well, I think they've both got a lot of experience now. So I can't see Michael Clarke losing his cool, and I certainly can't see MS losing his cool. I don't think we'll see that happen. What we will see is the team that, in my opinion, I think the team that wins the big moments, when the game's in the balance, which team can take the upper hand. I think that's possibly where this game may be headed because they're so evenly matched. The team that can sort of win the big moments, goes ahead in the game and stays ahead. You know, and the other thing is the fielding side of things. We've seen South Africa, as you said, overfield. That was very well said, and that's exactly what these two teams can't afford to do tomorrow. They can't afford to miss their chances, and they must take their catches.
Absolutely. On paper, Nikhil, both sides evenly matched, but would you say on form, India has to be favourites, especially given the fact that the home advantage is more or less negated in this one?
Well, true. And if you see the tracks, how they've been playing, Shivani, is very unlike the Australian tracks, where 300 runs are being scored. Mind you, 300 runs get scored only if you take care of the first 10 overs with the new ball, and that's how you're posing big enough totals. You're absolutely right. You know, it's going to be a big advantage when we talk about 70-30% people in the stands, you know, going out there shouting for India. It'll make a big difference, but it also makes a big difference how you handle the key moments. Like Andrew said, you know, you need to keep your calm at that moment in time. Don't try and overdo things. Don't get carried away with the situation as well. So it's a man-to-man battle, and it's split down right through the middle.
So we'll talk to him about India's bowling, but let's first take a look at the men who have mattered for India in this World Cup, and it has been a surprise for everyone. The bowlers, how they will be key for India at SCG as well.
70 wickets in 7 matches. That's what the Indian bowlers have done in the World Cup so far. What's even better is that not even a single team has been able to play the full quota of 50 overs against India. And that's why India has the edge over Australia in the semi-final.
The spinners are attacking in the middle overs, and most impressive are the 3 quicks. They're causing lots of problems, bowling out the opposition. They've taken it to a different level.
What's more, India's bowling with 2 spinners and 3 fast bowlers is far more balanced than Australia.
Alright, Bhaji, Indian bowlers weren't given too much chance before the World Cup, especially the way they performed in the series down under. But what a turnaround for them. And would you say this is a better bowling lineup than what the Australians have? They might have the names Mitchell Johnson and Mitchell Starc, but they don't have that 5th bowler. Their spin options are not as good. So we have the advantage there.
We definitely have a very good bowling. There's no doubt about it. They have done really well so far, whatever game they have played. But I want to say that Australian attack is also as good as Indian. You know, we can't really say that Australian don't have better bowlers or we have the better bowlers.
But spin is one department, of course, where we will be ahead with Ashwin and Jadeja bowling well.
Yes, only if we have runs on the board. If we have 260 on the board, 250 on the board, then I would like to see our spinners doing the damage, if they can really do the damage. You know, they're so far they've been lucky. You know, our seamers have done really well up front, and spinners have come and bowled in the middle overs, and they have taken the wickets. Credit goes to them. They have bowled really well, and let's see. You know, tomorrow is the big game, and hopefully they will do what they've been doing and take those wickets. You know, and it goes in India's favour. You know, that's all I can say.
Bleed blue. That's what Harbhajan Singh is also chanting. For a strange reason, they're wearing green today. I don't quite understand this. But tomorrow, rest assured, they'll be wearing blue, including Andrew Simons, who's promised us if India wins, he's wearing an Indian jersey and having curry of some kind, isn't it?
Well, that he's been saying from day one.
Yeah, so we're going to hold him to that. But for the meantime, let's go across to Kolkata, the city of joy, which is bleeding blue for cricket this time, not just football. Banogya, fans are gearing up for this mother of all battles.
Well, absolutely. I'm here at Tire Party. It's one of the most famous hangouts for the youth here. And the youth brigade with me is all set, prepared to bunk the classes or maybe to hold the classes in a different way, only to ensure that the students turn up. I have with me Saket Saraugi. Saket, give me an idea. What are you planning to do tomorrow?
जी मेरा कल कोचिंग सेंटर है पास ही में एक्चुअल का, तो मैं अपने स्टूडेंट्स को इनवाइट कर रहा हूँ कि आप आओ इंडिया वर्सेस ऑस्ट्रेलिया देखो, क्योंकि कल वो लोग पढ़ेंगे तो है नहीं.
That was quite cool, but what are you planning to do? Taking sick leave this time?
Yeah, I've already submitted my leave application and my boss said that he's on sick leave himself.
What are your plans? No plans as such, but love you India, do well, all the best. Cheering for Virat this time? Yes. Virat, all the best. I wish you play very well, and that's all. And of course, how can we miss on Dhoni, the man of the match from so many matches that's ruling the heart of the men and women in India and the world?
Completely true, ma'am. He's like our captain cool, and the whole world believes that he can get it through. He can get it through the finals as well. Let's see. Hopefully we win.
Hopefully, how hopeful are you about the win this time? Very confident? Not just hopeful, I'm super confident that we will win. And what about one song for the whole team now this time?
All right.
That comes with a huge ha कि हमारी जीत हो और उनकी हार ha. And on Australian field, of course, it's going to be more than a world war, if not less than a cricket battle.
Absolutely. It's as big a cricket battle as it gets. Before I take a quick break, and I'll go across to Srisha as well in Chennai. Bhaji, as a child, did you used to take leave from school at all to watch India matches, just like these young men and women are doing now?
No.
No.
I was busy practicing.
Be honest.
No, I'm being very honest. I was busy practicing. I don't prepare to watch matches, but I prepare to play the games. That's it.
All right. In less than 12 hours from now, Sydney will witness a mega clash between Australia and India. It seems India will have the upper hand as far as fans in attendance are concerned, but two sides extremely evenly matched, and it's going to be one humdinger of a match. In a recent press conference, James Faulkner said Australia might just feel like the away team at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Now, if you're wondering why, all we can say is that Sydney will surely be painted blue for the mega semi-final clash. For once, the Australian team will be completely at sea in Sydney. It may be their home ground, but they're going to feel like an away team. The reason? Out of the 42,000 seats available, 30,000 have been bought by Indian supporters. Not just that, the Australian team was shooed away by the ICC when they came up with a request to have a fast pitch at the SCG. Instead, a sporting track awaits the semi-final, and that certainly is going to suit India. All right, joining us from various centres across India are my colleagues. Rohit is joining us from Dhoni's hometown, Ranchi, Srisha from Chennai, and Rasesh Mandani from Mumbai, where he also has Rohit Sharma's coach, Dinesh Lad, with him. We'll go to my colleagues in just a bit, but we talked about the pitch and the fan factor. Let me go across to Sydney first, to Boria and Saurav. Saurav, how big a difference does that make? The build-up, where Australia didn't get the pitch they wanted, They're feeling like the away team. Is that going to play on their minds?
I don't think Australia have been asking for the pitch in this World Cup. I don't think anyone has control over the pitch. The ICC prepares the pitch. And I don't think that's the right picture we have. But the build-up, yes, it's been a terrific build-up. As we all said, we won't be surprised that if it's more blue than gold tomorrow. And I think that's going to be a huge bonus for India. We saw at the MCG in the game against South Africa, where out of the 90,000, 80,000 were Indians. And tomorrow could be another stadium where there'll be a lot more Indians than the Aussies.
Yeah, I think that's more or less certain now. Boria, are the Australians, jittery about that fact that they're playing at home, yet not to have the home crowd advantage? Conditions are anyways, pretty much even wherever you go now, especially in an ICC-controlled event. But how are the Australians looking forward to the build-up, especially from the fan perspective?
They are aware that it will be more of an Indian takeover of Sydney once again. And I don't think Australia is no South Africa. Australia is no Pakistan. They will not choke. They will not give it away. These people know how to handle pressure and handle pressure very well. Michael Clarke, when he was asked that question in the press conference today, said, we've played in front of big Indian crowds every part of the world. That's the trait of the game at this point in time. I don't think Australia... ultimately, Shivani, it's the 11 players who will play out in the middle. Yes, there's fan support, but if Australia get on top, what happens to that fan support? It might come as a boomerang to India. So the fan support is a very peripheral factor in a World Cup semi-final. It's a 50-50 contest because of the potential of the two teams, and I don't think India is ahead.
All right, the head of communications of New South Wales Cricket, Malcolm Conn, feels that Team India will feel at home when they take on Australia in the semi-final. Conn feels the conditions at the SCG suit India, so will the majority of the fans in the stadium.
If there's anybody who knows the Sydney cricket ground really, really well, it's Malcolm Conn. Communications director here in Sydney, former journalist, perhaps the very, very top cream of Australian cricket writers. Malcolm, what do you reckon? Pitch, so much talk?
I think that India will enjoy that pitch. I think it'll be full of runs. It'll be a little bit, I think, like the pitch that was here for Sri Lanka, Australia a couple of weeks ago. Almost 700 runs scored in that game. I think it'll be dry. I think it won't have much grass on it. I think that the Australians will feel like they're playing an away game, not only with the type of pitch, but also the fact that 70% of the crowd will probably be Indian and cheering for India. So it'll be a real challenge. I think it'll be a bat-first pitch. I think you bat first on what should be a very good batting surface and make a lot of runs, and then the team batting second will have to hope that the pitch holds up, doesn't slow down too much. And I think that if you make a lot of runs on that, it might be a bit difficult to chase. So definitely a bat-first pitch.
Was a lot of rain yesterday. You think any impact of that on the track?
I'd be very surprised. And the weather's supposed to improve today and again tomorrow. So I think that they would have had it well covered. I don't think that there'll be much impact on the pitch at all.
All right, let's go across to my colleagues now. Rohit, want to come to you first. How is Ranchi gearing up for Dhoni's 8th win in a row? That's what they're rooting for?
Well, absolutely, Shivangi. There is massive excitement that is building up in Ranchi, and people here in Ranchi they are all shouting slogans for India, for the Mahendra Singh Dhoni, because he's the local boy here, and everyone is confident. Everyone is confident that India will win semi-finals and then also the finals. I have with me Rohan Pathak, a budding singer from Ranchi. He'll sing a song for Dhoni. Rohan, go ahead.
जीत की तैयारी फिर है इस बारी, जीतेगा फिर इंडिया, देखेगी दुनिया सारी, कैप्टन है अपना धोनी, फिर बात नहीं टेंशन की, पूरी इंडिया भी टीम इंडिया के साथ, तो मिलके बोलो सब जीतेंगे वर्ल्ड कप, धोनी हमारा फिर लाएगा वर्ल्ड कप, मिलके बोलो सब जीतेंगे वर्ल्ड कप, धोनी हमारा फिर लाएगा वर्ल्ड कप.
Once again get the World Cup. Do you think that Dhoni will be lucky second time also? Because
yes, Dhoni is the most luckiest person that we have. India team is having, but other team is not having. So India this time also win the World Cup must. This is the must.
So Dhoni will do it for India once again, you believe?
Sure, India will win. Dhoni, Dhoni, Dhoni.
He he's a local boy here. Do you want that he should do it for Ranchi also?
Yes, he should do it for Ranchi because it's his hometown.
All right.
Yes.
I like the fact that they're already talking about winning the cup. It's not really about the semi-final in Ranchi. They're only concentrating on winning the cup already. But remember, there is one match against Australia to go before that. Shrisha, Dhoni is as much Chennai boy as he is Ranchi's hometown boy. How's Chennai preparing for the semi-final?
Well, people in Chennai are of course excited about this particular match, you know, because they in different places in Chennai, different screens have been put up in malls and in hotels for people to actually get together and watch, and it's going to be a holiday for Chennai as such. You know, I have quite a few fans with me. So what are your plans for tomorrow? How do you think like India will have an advantage this time?
Well, India has been consistent throughout the series, and you know, every match almost India has been scoring a century. Shikhar Dhawan, Kohli, even outstanding in the series. You know, every match they have played, you know, almost each one of them has got a century. So we all hope that tomorrow again there can be a century by one of these two players, and you know, cracker of a game, and hopefully we can reach the finals. And
what are your plans?
You know, to sit along, watch with friends, cheer live, to make sure that, you know, our cheers are heard all the way in Sydney, and we won't give it back.
Right. So he's been saying that we won't give it back. So what are your thoughts? You know, how do you think India will have an advantage this time?
I think we won all the matches so far, and I think we've done a fabulous job. I have so much confidence that we're going to do it this time too. And when we do, I know New Zealand is like a tough team, but I'm very confident that we'll pull it off. And I wish them all the very best.
Right, quick
Again, we're already talking about New Zealand. Andrew, not very good news as far as you are concerned. You know, rooting for Australia, because Indian fans are already, they've decided India is winning and they're going to the final and they're winning the cup.
Yeah, look, I mean, Indian supporters are very passionate, aren't they? They've jumped the gun a bit there. They've still got to beat Australia tomorrow, but I mean, you never know. You know, in 4 or 5 days' time, India may well have the World Cup in their hand.
Yeah, you never know. 5 to 6 days, 7 days for Dhoni to return home. His wife has been running a countdown on Twitter as well. Remember, Dhoni had his first child, daughter Ziva, and he hasn't seen her since he has been on the tour to Australia. Let me go across quickly to Rasesh as well. Rasesh, Mumbai always at the forefront when celebrating victories. They, of course, were the site of the 2011 World Cup title win at the Wankhede. This time around, how is Mumbai gearing up?
Shivani, I am in Rohit Sharma territory right now, and you know, this is where Rohit started off staying in a rented apartment in a middle-class family, and then now going up to plush in a residence in Bandra. That's the way the rise has been. Someone who's seen Rohit over the years, his school coach Dinesh Lad, who still interacts with him. Lad sir, you know, आपने शुरू से देखा है रोहित को, nervous हुआ इसमें बड़े मुकाबले को लेकर?
नहीं, मैं तो nervous नहीं, क्योंकि 2007 के वर्ल्ड कप में ऑलरेडी रोहित खेला हुआ है और वर्ल्ड कप जीत के आए थे, तो मैं चाहूँगा कि यहाँ से रोहित गया स्टार बन के गए, क्योंकि इस बिल्डिंग का नाम स्टार लाइन है, कि यहाँ इस बिल्डिंग से स्टार ही उभरते हैं, तो रोहित एक स्टार है और रोहित भारत के लिए वर्ल्ड कप जिता के लाएगा।
कोई 1-2 चीज जिसका रोहित को ध्यान रखो, अच्छा फॉर्म लेकर रोहित इस मुकाबले में जा रहा है, अगर आप इस समय रोहित से मुलाकात करते तो उसे क्या कहते?
क्या कहता, मैं सिर्फ यही कहना चाहूँगा कि जिस तरह से उसने लास्ट मैच में बैटिंग की, बल्लेबाजी की है, बहुत ही पेशेंस इनिंग खेली थी, शुरू में बहुत ही पेशेंस रखा था उसने, और उसके बाद उसने अपना बल्ला चलाया था, तो उसी तरह से कल के मैच में भी उसी तरह से बल्लेबाजी करे और भारत को मैच जिता के दे।
मेंटली ऑस्ट्रेलिया रोहित को टारगेट करेगा, आपको लगता है? टेस्ट मैचेस में हमने देखा था ये
टारगेट तो करेगा, लेकिन रोहित ने आपका अगर देखा होगा कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ अगेंस्ट ही उसने बहुत ही अच्छा परफॉर्म किया, 200 रन की पारी खेली, और शुरू में उसने 131 रन की पारी खेली थी, उसके बाद बेचारा इंजर्ड हो गया था, बट अभी तो प्रिपेयर्ड है, और मुझे लगता है कि कल के मैच में भी 100 रन की पारी करेगा, भारत 300 रन करके इजीली मैच जीत जाएगा।
So Shivani, Rohit's coach is confident that Rohit is ready. Let's get a final word in from the young toddlers here, young kids here. अच्छा, आप किस तरह cheer करेंगे इंडिया को कल? All right. So I have to say, Shivani, Andrew in the studio is outnumbered for now.
Well, the best sight I've seen all day, really. We've seen a lot of fans cheering for India, but these tiny young kids, quite a cute sight that. Let me quickly go across. First of all, thank you, Rasesh, Shrisha and Rohit for joining us. Let me go back to Saurav once again. Saurav, Rohit, the key man for India at the top of the order, or who do you think against the Australians has the better mental capability and cricketing capability against their bowlers?
I think it's Virat Kohli to start with. He'll be the #1 man against Australia. He bats in at number 3, so I presume number 3 is the top of the order. He's had a great summer against the Australian, and he will go into this game very, very confident. Rohit Sharma's record against Australia is also very good. At the start of the season, when he played the Tri-Series, he got 100 at the MCG against Australia. He's got a double 100 against Australia, so he will also feel good against his Australian attack. Shikhar Dhawan has struggled against the Australian bowling, but he's been in good touch in this World Cup. So if he can handle those left armers taking it away from him, I think he will do well. But I think Virat Kohli is the key man. Come the big game, he stands up. He's got a fabulous record against Australia as well. As I said, remember those knocks in Jaipur and Nagpur where he got 50 ball hundreds against Australia while we were chasing 350. So for me, he will be the key man tomorrow.
Absolutely, and he's really a big stage man, and he was the one who said in the build-up to the semi-final, this is the perfect time to beat Australia. They might not have won any match against them all summer, but if they get this one, this will hurt the most as far as the Aussies are concerned. So I'll go across to Sydney, to Boria and Saurav first up. Saurav, Warren visiting the Australian training camp, giving them tips, even a pep talk inside the dressing room. How crucial do you think that can be? And this time around, you have to give us a prediction. Final chance before the big match.
I think Shane Warne is a very close friend of Michael Clarke, so he's visited the dressing room on the request of Michael Clarke to have a quiet laugh and a chat with the boys. I don't know whether tips the day before a World Cup semi-final matters, because your game is set and you have a plan for a while, so I don't know how much difference that will make. But I'm sure he's been a great player, and Shane Warne is a very good captain as well. He hasn't captained Australia at all, but whatever little bit I've seen, he's got a very good idea about the game. So he has been involved with the team as well in the past when they went to the tour of South Africa. So having him will be handy, but how much tips a day before the game, I'm not too sure. In terms of my predictions, I've given you predictions right throughout the series. I've been backing India to beat South Africa and all the games, but tomorrow, my prediction is a 50-50 game, and whoever plays
No, you can't say 50-50 anymore. Final chance, Dada, before the big match.
No.
What is your gut feeling?
See, I want India to win. I want India to win. My heart is with India. But we all must understand, as much as we get carried away with our love and affection for the team and want for the team to win, we must understand they're up against a very good side. They're up against the #1 one-day side in the world at the moment, who's a very, very strong unit. So I'm not keeping anyone ahead just on the basis of what I feel in a big game. That I am actually giving India 50% chance to beat Australia, which just goes to show that I feel India have a
I'll take it as Australia slightly ahead.
A very good one-day side.
I'll take it as Australia slightly ahead. Almost out of time. Boria, quickly, India or Australia?
Australia is not slightly ahead.
Exactly 50-50 then. Okay,
Australia.
Boria?
I mean, heart says India. Heart says India, Shivani, every time, but mind says Australia.
Mind says
Australian conditions, irrespective of the fans, they know it better. Australia.
I'd go with India.
India?
Australia.
Australia. No, that was an easy one. Andrew, I don't know why I even asked him. But Saurav, Boria, Andrew, Nikhil and all our other panelists and reporters, thanks a lot for joining us. Goodbye for now.